Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now, on this video, I'm going to explain to you in detail on audit planning 3 for audit tests. Now, I'm taking an extract from the workbook. This is the diagram in page 49 in your workbook. Okay, now audit procedures, there are two kinds, which is test of control and substantive procedures, and there are the explanation of all this. Now, to differentiate these two tests of control is when the auditor is looking at the internal control, which means that they are looking at the procedures of sales, procedures of purchases, inventory, etc., etc. So usually the item that they look at here is basically a SOPL item. Now for substantive procedures, I hope you have read through the workbook. There are three kinds of substantive procedures, whereby the first one is test of detail of classes of transaction, test of detail of account balances and disclosure, and analytical procedures. Now, analytical procedures we have done in audit planning 2, whereby I've in the topic of materiality risk preliminary audit analytical procedures. So we have already done on this. Analytical procedures is actually looking at the ratios and trend. Now, looking at the by these test of details, the two substantive procedure, which is classes of transaction, account balance. So I'm giving you here the 3-column ledger, assuming whatever account it is here. When you're looking at test of detail of classes of transaction, you are looking at the entry in the debits and credit side. Whereas if it is test of detail of account balances, it will be on the balance here. So now the auditor is doing substantive procedures either on this item, either in a debit or credit side, or at the end of the balance. Now, this is an extract from the workbook. So the first two questions, there's a number of questions here. It's on the direct question, theory question. Now, we're going to look at October 2006. So here, given to you the audit procedures. This is what audit procedures is all about. Now, when you look at the explanation of what audit procedure is, it can also be used in audit test. So we are using the audit test to do the procedures. Now, you are to identify the types of audit procedure. It means that you are going to identify from these three only. Now, I've colored it as yellow here. Now, number 1, inspect new machinery purchased during the year. So the first thing that comes into your mind, whether it is transaction or balance. When you look at inspection of new machinery, it has to be in the debit balance, isn't it? So we are doing the audit test of detail of classes of transaction. Okay, this is A. Now, when you vouch purchases account with supplier's invoice. Now, what is this? Alright, purchases account. You are looking one by one purchases account. So, assuming this is purchases account will have all debit balance here. And supply. Where does this figure come from? It comes from supplier's invoice. So, you are doing also test of detail of transaction. Now the third audit procedure is confirm amount owed by customer. So customer in accounting term, it is account receivable. Now assuming that this is account receivable account, so you have the debits and credits. Remember, the debits would be all the sales, the credit would be the returns, the discount, the bank, And when you want to confirm the amount owed by customer, now how much this customer A, for example, so to look at how much they owed would be the balance. So you are doing B here. Okay. Now, calculate inventory turnover ratio. So when it is a ratio, the answer would be C. Alright, reconcile bank account at year end. So what is this? Reconcile bank account at year end. So you're looking at the balance. You are not looking at one by one. Okay, this is B. Test count of inventory supplies on hand at year end. This is also looking at the balance after considering the debits and credits. Now, inspect purchase invoice recorded after year end. So, assuming this is the account before year end, and then if there is an account continuation from this account to the next year, it would be an individual account because you are looking at purchase invoice. So, purchase invoice as same as supplies invoice. We're looking at one by one. So this is the most suitable answer is A. And finally, if it is gross profit ratio, your answer would be ARP. Okay, guys. So there's another 1, 2, 3 questions. I managed to get these 2 questions from EQPS. And these questions, I hope you can find it on your own. We will discuss this question in class. Alright, so I hope you can understand this audit test. Thank you very much.